Vivienne Sinclair, heiress to the Sinclair global empire, sat in her private study beneath a glimmering chandelier shaped like a cascade of frozen tears. The air was rich with the scent of aged books and jasmine from the garden outside. In her manicured hands, she held a glass of aged wine, untouched. Her eyes, however, were fixed on an old family portrait, herself at 7, nestled between her smiling parents, their expressions full of hope and pride. That hope had since withered into solitude. Her wealth had multiplied beyond imagination. Private islands, fashion labels, a stake in multiple Fortune 500 companies. Power followed her name like an echo. She had fans, followers, assistants, lovers, and opportunists in abundance. But lately, a question haunted her. Did anyone truly love Vivienne, or only the empire she embodied? Even Ethan, her once charming husband, no longer kissed her without glancing at the time. Her siblings treated her calls like client meetings. Her friends, all curated and filtered, only showed up for champagne and press photos. The loneliness roared in silent moments like an unseen avalanche. So she devised a plan, a final, irreversible test. The jet was scheduled to fly from Monaco to Singapore. Mid-flight, her pilot, a trusted family retainer, sent out a distress signal. Reports flooded the news. Vivienne Sinclair presumed dead in jet crash over the Mediterranean Sea. Headlines screamed with urgency. Memorial candles and designer bouquets piled up outside Sinclair Tower. But Vivienne wasn't dead. Beneath the estate, in a room known only to her most loyal housekeeper and her security chief, she watched it all unfold. Surveillance cameras dotted every room of her mansion. She sat with her hair tucked into a black silk scarf, a shawl wrapped tightly around her shoulders. No makeup, no title, just Vivienne. Her heart pounded as the first visitor arrived. They were the husband, Ethan Sinclair. Dashing, charming, and cold as winter stone. He strode into the estate dressed in a perfectly tailored black suit and a smirk disguised as sorrow. He hugged no one. He greeted the staff with a curt nod and moved straight to the lawyer's study. "Such a tragedy," he said, his tone clipped but loud enough for others to hear. "Tos will have to settle her affairs quickly." She'd have wanted that. Behind the mirror, Vivienne's jaw tightened. She watched him pause at the grand marble fireplace, lift a silver-framed wedding photo, and chuckle bitterly. Then came the whisper, "Guess I'll finally upgrade." Someone with fewer opinions. He took out his phone. "She's gone. I'm free. Dinner tonight? Ethan." Vivienne's hand trembled. She clutched her shawl like a shield. He didn't wait even a day. Day 2, the siblings. Helena arrived in a black designer jumpsuit, sunglasses perched on her head like a crown. Leo followed in an imported sports car, too loud for a day of mourning. They embraced like long-lost allies, then marched past Vivienne's portraits, not pausing to look. The lawyer met them in the drawing room. "I want the penthouse," Helena said immediately. "Vivienne told me it would be mine." "The beach villas are mine," Leo countered. "She knew I always loved the coast. And the Milan collection. I already messaged the curator." "Please," the lawyer interjected. "She hasn't even." "Oh, spare me the sentiment," Helena hissed. "She's not coming back." Vivienne's vision blurred with betrayal. She remembered when they were children, when they camped in the backyard and Pinky promised never to let money change them. That promise was as dead as her false identity. Black SUVs rolled in like a funeral procession, but inside, the mood was almost celebratory. "She was brilliant," one said, loosening his tie. "She was brilliant and in the way," another quipped. They popped champagne bottles. An actual bottle shattered as a toast spilled onto the rug. They laughed as they discussed selling off Vivienne's shares, splitting her empire like a roasted feast. No more ethical vetoes. "We can push through the pharmaceutical merger now." Vivienne stared at the screen, mouth open. Her life's work, the eco-initiatives, the worker protections, dismantled in minutes. No tears. No tribute. Just strategy. Day 3. The mansion, once filled with hollow grief, grew silent. Then came Arthur and Eleanor Sinclair. They moved slowly, leaning on each other for balance, as if their spines could no longer carry the weight of their loss. No demands. No lawyers. Just sorrow. Vivienne watched her mother pause at the grand piano. She touched a single ivory key. "She played this for us every Sunday," Eleanor whispered. Arthur sat down heavily in the velvet chair. "I was proud of her. But I never told her. Not enough." His shoulders trembled with sobs. Real sobs. The kind that racked the body, unfiltered and raw. Eleanor hummed a lullaby, the same one she used to sing during Vivienne's childhood night terrors. It echoed faintly through the surveillance feed. Then Arthur pulled from his coat a time-worn photograph, Vivienne at 5, with paint-stained fingers and gap-toothed smile. "She was always painting the world," he murmured. "And we were too busy watching the news to watch her." Vivienne broke. She could not stay hidden. The hidden panel creaked open. Eleanor turned slowly, as if afraid to dream. "Mama, Papa." Arthur looked up, eyes wide, lip trembling. Eleanor dropped to her knees. "Vivi," she whispered, reaching out. Is this really you?" Vivienne ran to them, collapsing in their arms. "I had to know," she sobbed. "I had to see who loved me for me, not for my bank account." Arthur cupped her face gently. "You don't test love with fire, darling. But we're here. We're still here." Eleanor kissed her forehead. "And we never stopped loving you. Not for one moment." In the days that followed, the world learned of Vivienne's miraculous return. Her resurrection made international headlines. But behind the scenes, she quietly restructured everything. Ethan was served with divorce papers before he could send a second text. Helena and Leo found their inheritance frozen, their names removed from trust accounts. A letter arrived for them both, handwritten by Vivienne. "You inherited my blood, not my heart." Her business partners were ousted. Vivienne formed a new board, one composed of ethical entrepreneurs, social workers, teachers, and grassroots leaders. She sold the Milan penthouse and donated the proceeds to orphanages. But most of all, she spent every Sunday with her parents again, playing the piano and humming lullabies. She had tested love and found its rarest, most painful truth. But she had also found something greater.
Please like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest videos.